Some guys pushed me, I almost sat myself at the university in the senior common room. When I told them, you people, Akikuyu will follow Kibaki. Oh, I even met that guy today. He thought I was very stupid.
But Ruto doesn't need Raila's numbers to go down. He has his.
He has to have the numbers. And the Raila is just going for the numbers to go down. That's what he's doing. You must keep the predators away so that they don't run away with just 2 chicks out of 10.
Oh.
That's a very difficult thing even for a hen.
Hello and welcome to Professor Herman Manyora's channel. It's a good Thursday here with Professor Herman Manyora. Professor, we're speaking about former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, but let me ask, how are you?
I'm okay, thank God.
Yes. You were trending this week, actually.
Yeah,
it's trending on Twitter.
yeah. I say a few things that make sense. About this country we love.
And people just go ahead and follow.
Yeah, we will be bashed by others, but basically we love this country. We say things that are good for this country.
Okay, today we're speaking about, as I said, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, who is now climbing Mount Kenya. He was in Murang'a trying to get to rally the numbers, but people are saying it's going to be tricky for him to get the numbers in Mount Kenya, especially if he does it alone. Others are arguing that the president cannot get involved. Now, would it be difficult for him to get the numbers without having the president involved in his campaigning?
What must be clear is this. Raila is not going to the mountain to get votes. He doesn't want to win over the mountain.
Why is he there then?
Raila and Uhuru will just want to chip away to deny Ruto the numbers he needs to win the election. Ruto's presidential bid hangs on the numbers on the mountain. You chip away 30%, he's gone. And that's what they are doing. So Raila does not need all the votes from Mount Kenya. He just needs 10%. Uhuru needs to get Raila 20%. So together that's about 30-35%. And the rest will be taken care of by other dynamics of politics. So and then Uhuru does not need to take Raila there. He does not even need to campaign. No. Just put things in place, things in motion. Set things in motion, set the machinery rolling, activate networks, and let the mountain know that his preferred successor is Raila Odinga for this and this reason. For very selfish reasons.
Most people up to now fail to believe, even in the comment section, that Raila can get votes in Mount Kenya.
Of course, if Raila was depending on the mountain the way Ruto depends, it will be a waste of time. If he wanted votes, you see, Raila does not need votes from the mountain. He needs just to destabilize Ruto on the mountain. That's a difference between wanting votes and destabilizing somebody else there.
How about people would say that Ruto he can go throughout the other counties, go throughout the other
It will be very difficult.
And
when the right time comes, very difficult.
Why not?
You see, those votes that Ruto may get elsewhere, and he will get elsewhere, will not be sufficient to see him in State House if he loses the mountain. And losing the mountain for him is very bad. It's not a question like, oh, the mountain people vote for somebody else, like Raila or one of their own. No. It's that he just loses 30%. You see how difficult it is?
So you're saying that Ruto...
You must keep the predators away so that they don't run away with just 2 chicks out of 10.
Oh.
That's a very difficult thing even for a hen.
Even it's two are horrible for the hen.
Yes.
Do you think Ruto now needs the numbers that President Uhuru had in 2017 and 2013?
Yeah, he needs them. That's what makes his task impossible. You know, I don't see why Kenyans are not seeing this.
The calculation should be the same.
It is so difficult mathematically. First, the Kikuyu vote, the Mount Kenya vote must turn out in the numbers it did. Komera. How would you say it in Gikuyu?
Komera.
Duraku.
Siafu, Yes.
Yes. Do you think they'll do that without a candidate of their own on the ticket? It's not humanly possible. To excite the people to turn out 90% and they don't have a candidate of their own on the ticket.
Does this mean that the calculations for Ruto are a little bit different when it comes to Raila's side? Because for Raila, he needs the Ruto's numbers to go down.
Yes.
But Ruto doesn't need Raila's numbers to go down. He has his...
He has to have the numbers. And the Raila is just going for the numbers to go down. That's what he's doing.
So it's
And
bringing
for Ruto, you
down.
see, for Ruto it's difficult because those numbers that are being reduced from his figures, they need not go to Raila. You see how difficult it is?
Oh.
So Uhuru's game is to ensure Ruto loses up to between 30 and 40% of the mountain vote. It is not necessary that they go to Raila. It's good enough that they disappear with somebody like Muturi, for example. If Muturi stood and there was this conflict between the west and the east of the mount, and the Muturi got 25-30% of the mountain vote, Ruto is cooked.
With certainty, can you say Raila will get the numbers that he had in 2017?
Or on other than the mountain?
Or other than the mountain?
Yeah, it's not possible. It's not possible. Certainly the numbers will go down
For
because
Raila
of his not so good working relationship with the Kalonzo and Mudavadi. The numbers certainly go down. So he's also hoping, as his numbers go down, the need to chip away from Ruto becomes even more. Yeah.
The need for him to chip from Ruto?
Yes, yes. Make them they go down. So there are schemes they'll put in place to ensure Ruto doesn't get more than 60-65% of the mountain.
Does this mean that it eventually will be having a runoff?
It depends on a third force. If Kalonzo and Mudavadi stand on one ticket, there will be a runoff. If the mountain people produce a person whom they vote for, there will be a runoff. If the mountain doesn't produce somebody who gets votes from the mountain, if all these Jimmy Wanjigi, Muturi and the rest of them, if they end up getting 10%, 15%, and Mudavadi goes on his own, Kalonzo goes in, there will be no runoff.
No.
But if Kalonzo and Mudavadi do one ticket, there will be runoff. If the Kikuyu produce a candidate strong enough to get even 30% of the mountain vote, there will be a runoff.
What do you think about the competition in Baba's home? Where in Baba's house, that is the ODM party, where Jimmy Wanjigi wants to take over the presidential ticket for ODM. Do you think this is going to play, to make any impact in the politics that come when these parties are looking for whom to bring out?
How can you go to UDA and purport to want to get a ticket from Ruto? Is it possible? You can't. How can you go to ODM and say you want to displace Baba? How will it work?
So what do you make of Jimmy's movement?
Jimmy is trying is trying a game which can work in his favor, so that he can finally come up with a party of his own. I wanted to work with Raila, but he has refused. They have no democracy. We thought this was our party. We built it together. I'm a life member. Now it looks like they are pushing. So everybody's looking to look for sympathy and, victim. Everybody's playing politics. But finally, if Jimmy is going to stand, he will stand on a different party other than ODM. But again, politics being what it is, Jimmy could as well be angling to be deputy president. Running mate to Raila Odinga. It's also a possibility. But that's also unlikely because while a running mate for Raila may come and actually should come from the mountain region, it will have to be somebody that Raila, that Uhuru kind of gives Raila, and it can't be Jimmy.
So what do you make of Jimmy's presidential race when it comes to him now going head to head with Raila as opposed to head on head with Ruto?
No, Jimmy wants to sort out Raila first. He believes that Raila can get somewhere and realize, looking around, say the numbers are not adding up. And say, okay, I don't want to go into this thing and lose. So who do I support? Mudavadi? No, he has not been a very good friend. Kalonzo? No. Jimmy. That's also a possibility. But I think the more realistic thing for Jimmy is this. With all these shenanigans, like I've called them many times, going on within the political scene, with all this, you see the Moses Kuria, Mother Karua, and the rest of these people within the UDA. You see there are games being played. And within Nansa, there are also games being played. The Kikuyus can get somewhere and say, kwani nini? Let's have our own. That's what Jimmy is playing on. He's hoping on. If they get to a point and say, kwenda.
Building his name.
You see in 2010 and 2011, if you told a serious Kenyan that a Kikuyu will succeed Kibaki, everybody would have laughed. Some guys pushed me, I almost sat myself at the university in the senior common room. When I told them, you people, a Kikuyu will follow Kibaki. I even met that guy today. He thought I was very stupid. 2011, early 2012, almost 3 months to the end of 2013, actually towards the end of 2012, is when Kikuyus now, when Uhuru came up, and Kikuyus embraced him, using the ICC as the excuse. So even now, they may be telling us they are not going to have a candidate. But as the heat of the politics begins to move around and in waves, they could say, no, what is it? Kwani konini?
So as of now, we haven't seen anything yet.
You ain't seen nothing yet. It is possible, as Americans say, of course, it is quite possible that the Kikuyus could decide no. Hata sisi tuko ndani ya hiyo ring. And that's what Jimmy is hoping on.
Won't this bring a lot of confusion to Ruto's camp and Raila's too? If
the Kikuyus decided they are backing one of their own, Muturi or Jimmy Wanjigi, that is the end of Ruto.
End of Ruto?
Completely.
And then we remain with
now
Baba.
Remain with the Baba and that Kikuyu candidate, who then may go for a runoff. Who wins in that runoff is a question of the dynamics. What will the Kalenjin do? Will they hate the Kikuyu so much for lying to them and therefore vote for Baba? Or, those are dynamics. Runoffs are always very interesting. Very interesting.
And as of now, we cannot quite tell because politics haven't hit it.
A guy gets 48%, with the closest rival having 18%. Like there was a situation, I think, in Liberia, where George Weah got, I think, 40-something%, I can't remember the figures. Quite high. But in the runoff, he was beaten.
He was beaten because
now things change. People begin to align. Who you are?
Trade us on this one.
Yeah, we trade off. So we will have to wait and see. But if a Kikuyu stands and the Kikuyus back him, Ruto just goes home immediately.
What would you tell Baba now that he's now, you said he has broken from the yoke of BBI.
Yes.
What would you tell him now that he's now starting to campaign? He hasn't yet announced whether he will be the flag bearer of...
He should move faster. He should move faster than he's moving now. And he must do his thing away from Ruto. Please, anytime he tries bringing Ruto, I don't know, he was somewhere recently again. Anytime you bring in Ruto, you mess the whole thing. I saw him, I think, in Murang'a.
He was in Murang'a.
Recently.
He was in Eastleigh then before that.
Somewhere he brought in Ruto. Again, it doesn't come, it's not coming out properly. Don't touch Ruto. Just do your thing.
Do you think he's really moving slowly, as you've said?
Well, Baba is a calculated politician, very calculated, but I'm not liking the messaging. His messaging is poor. He should improve on his messaging, but first, leave Ruto alone.
Messaging in terms of?
What you say. The things you have to say.
Do you think his agenda setting is quite poor as of now?
It is still poor.
Needs work on it. That's today's conversation on politics. My name is Gerald Cabrera here with Professor Herman Manyora. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. Professor, thank you so much for making time.
Thank you too, and thank our subscribers. And let others subscribe.
Muda will be on the streets too. Marshall Muda will be on the streets. He'll be asking you questions this Friday. Until we have this conversation, as I usually say, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.